Welcome back to round one, back nine of the Reckoning on the River, presented by Visit Bainbridge. We are out here at Bainbridge Oaks Disc Golf Course in Bainbridge, Georgia. I am Clay Edwards.
I am Ryder Mon. This event is sponsored by Prodigy as we are here on the beautiful Bainbridge Disc Golf Oaks course. We are here for the round one, back nine feature card coverage. We will take a look at the leaderboards here in one moment. Got myself the leader through 14 holes. I'm a little ahead of these guys. Got Lance Brown second, Alex Berg in third, big tie for fourth, and then Bradley Williams, Albert Tamm, and Clay Edwards in eighth place at 3 under.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. Hole 10 is a par 4, 605 feet. Players are going to want to be throwing a shot that really just pushes straight. If you want to get a little greedy, you can go left off the tee as well to set up right around here. And then this will leave you with maybe a 250-foot approach into this pretty well-guarded green. A couple OB ponds late that shouldn't really come into play if you're playing the hole correctly.
I like straight mid-range off this tee, I believe. Ooh, he's going a little bit a more greedy play, as you hinted at.
So yeah, there is that kind of hyzer gap late in the fairway. I don't think it's as clean, but it does reward the player if it is executed.
I like this shot right here from Silas. You a good indication of where you want to land is where the grass goes to just kind of brush and dirt and roots. So as long as you get past that last tree, you'll have an angle, and I like this as well. That looks perfect.
Really nice,
to my eye.
They'll have maybe 300 feet or so from there into the green.
Mm-hmm.
And here's that faster driver play.
Not sure if he caught a long tree or a shorter one. I believe it was a short one. Might have kicked to a worse angle. Silas showing us that his phone balanced weirdly. Appreciate that. Looks like he's throwing a Nicolas Antala drop. It's a zone type disc.
Okay. Maybe just a little bit low out of his hand. If that had a bit more height, would have faded nicely to the basket. He'll still be looking at a birdie putt.
Yeah, still around that 40-foot mark. Bradley looks like champion Halo Mako 3 here. And I like that a lot.
Really nice from Bradley. So Jamie catching a late tree is a bit pinched.
This is where the pond comes into play.
Yeah.
But he makes great work of it. Albert went for the more aggressive line, and let's see if it pays off. Looked low. He's going for the skip shot.
Interesting.
I would say unconventional.
Yeah, there's a lot of airspace there, but that works just fine as he finds himself in the circle.
That's like the second one today, which is a little short and a little left there for Silas. It's a great putt there.
Nice committed putt there from Albert.
I would say the aggressive play did pay off now.
You love to see it, really.
Jamie, let's see if he can convert on his tricky second shot. You know he can.
Good birdie from Jamie.
Drop in there for Brad. That always feels good in this one.
Means you did something right.
As we move into the tricky hole 11, it is a par 3, 330 feet. The main play you're going to see here is a fairway driver flex shot. I would say a very unconventional looking hole. Probably that 7 or 9 speed. They can torque on Anheuser and have it hit the flat and get a little bit of ground play here. There is a hyzer over the top. I don't expect to see anybody take that. It's a little not clean. A little finicky, if you will. Looks like Albert is lining up the main play on this hole. Going a little higher than I would imagine, but works out just the same. Gonna be about
Really
bullseye edge.
nice.
Brad going with more of a turnover instead of a flex.
Yeah.
Which I personally do as well. I throw a straight 7-speed on Annie, have it get to flat. I do like that play there. Jamie going with more of the towering Anheuser that he threw a little nose up.
Just a little high there.
Silas, he's going FD3.
This looks pured.
Wow. That was a lot of angle on that disc. To me, it looked a little nose up out of the hand, but he put so much angle on it to where it had no chance of coming out early.
Yeah, that's what I really like about this hole is it really favors the super overstable flex shot, which is something you don't always see.
Very unique hole to this course, I would say.
Good birdie there from Brad.
5 down through 11 is great pace. Back 9 is attackable, as I hinted at on the front 9. This is kind of the stretch where you're looking to get all your birdies. You know, I mean, you kind of want to get 10 through 14. And Jamie rushes that one. It looked like.
Wow.
Good birdie there from Albert.
Whoa, what's that? Yeah. Zach, I hit a lefty chicken wing.
Hole 12, we have another par 4, 535 feet. This one is a dogleg right. Kind of a few different options that you can go with off the tee here, but essentially you want to push through that gap that the drone just flew through somewhere to here, avoid the OB on the right, and that'll open up the shot into the screen here. It's really just important to get maybe 250 feet off the tee, I would say, to beat that corner and give yourself a look at the birdie.
I would say 250 is like the minimum you have to go to get an angle. Even this, if it gets a skip, that should still be doable from there.
So did he get through the gap there? It was
I believe it was a little low and left, but I believe it did sneak through. Brad going with that Halo Valkyrie again. This looks perfect if it can sneak by these last ones. Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And this hole feels very old school to me. I like how you can kind of miss your line, kind of get into a weird spot.
Kind of holes you played back in the 90s?
Well, sure. Didn't really know what disc golf was back then, but like Silas there, he pulls his shot off a little to the right, fades out left, and he can still scramble for the birdie. You know, with the hole being short,
That didn't look.
and that's what you want to avoid.
There's some weird kicks to be had.
What I was trying to get at is this hole just really opens up for creativity and scrambling to get your birdie, which I really like.
Turns men into children with that childlike creativity. And that's a great shot there from Silas.
This looked good to you guys. I didn't see where it kicked from.
This is the unfortunacy of this shot. Not only the gotta be he has this log pile in the way. I do like the design there from the course designer, though, to put that there to make sure you don't have a dead straight easy shot
Exactly. But again, here, he's in a spot where he can scramble for the par. Probably 250 feet away from the basket or so.
I would agree. Looked a little too turned over, in my opinion. But we'll see where he ended up.
Looks like Albert did get through to a really nice position.
That's a stable frisbee. That's a great shot.
What's that disc Brad's throwing there? Do you know?
It's either I think it's a Toro. That'd be my guess. I'm kind of unsure. Has the flight characteristics of a Toro though. Silas for birdie. After a creative second shot. I love that. That's just the beauty of this hole right here.
Really well done from Silas.
Brad says, let me tie you at the top, buddy. 6 through 12 is a great pace. You know, Jamie just kind of having a rough go at it this round, but this one is for bogey. Still a lot of holes left though in this tournament.
Like you said, this back nine does play a bit easier overall, so
attackable.
Jamie still has some time to make up some strokes.
Move into hole 13. It's a par 3, 305 feet. Two main plays you'll see is a backhand flex down this gap the drone is flying. Also, the left side forehand is a very viable play. OB long with the path, and that's the only real danger on this hole.
Yeah, you don't really see that come into play too often. I think if you got the sidearm, you throw it here.
I would 100% agree with you. But if you're more comfortable in that backhand shot, throw it. I kind of wish Albert would throw a forehand here. That's just me talking, though. Let's see if he can prove me wrong.
So, I saw people lace this all weekend, and it just was crazy to me. That gap is not big.
It is not. If you guys come out and play this course, that gap is not the biggest, the largest, as some musician once said.
Bradley going with the same line.
Silas throwing sidearm. I think that's a sidearm hole. Silas obviously has a decent sidearm.
I think the gap for the sidearm is about twice as big as the backhand line. However, if you do hit that initial gap with the backhand, you're pretty much home free.
I would agree with that one. There are a few finicky trees at the end of the forehand gap. So I like this initial angle out of his hand. Yeah, that should be good.
Yeah. 3 backhands there.
Kind of surprises me a little bit. Silas only forehanding through the worst shot, so
what do we know?
Exactly. We're just little commentators.
Yeah, we're just in the booth here, and these guys are out on the course.
Great shot from Silas. Albert, a little long. OB kind of came into play there. Not really, though. That's where it just ended up. He threw a faster disc, I'm sure. Got a skip. That was an unfortunate miss there. Brad keeping his good round going with that birdie putt. Those are the ones you want to make to have those good, highly rated rounds. If you make all of those, you're almost guaranteed to have 1,000 rated round at people of our skill level. These guys' skill level, I should say.
Albert cleaning up the par.
Jamie a little bit in the rough, but nothing he can't manage.
Yeah, he's maybe 15 feet here.
He's going to take his time. I like this. Whoa.
With authority.
Kind of scared to do that on these baskets, but birdie's a birdie. Silas for his par. Kind of that distance he's been a little scary on, but center.
Now we move into the signature hole out here at Bainbridge Oaks. Hole 14, par 4, 440 feet. There is a fairway on the left that the drone is not showing you, but if you're a big guy and you're feeling pretty big, you're going to be taking this gap. Going straight over the water. You can see the basket here perched right on the cliffside. If you do not land dry off your tee shot, you either re-tee or move to the drop zone. So Guys going over are gonna really wanna make sure they keep it high and powerful to clear this water.
A very good note to add there. If you don't make it over, it's almost a guaranteed 5 at that point. As Bradley just pins it. That's one of the better shots you're going to see on the hole. I got a little fortunate.
That was great.
But still great.
I nicked the cage, dude.
Oh.
He hit the cage, wow.
Wait, I didn't even see it. You went through the tree? Yeah.
That is fantastic is what I would say. Jamie.
So what's Jamie doing here?
See, here's a spot where it's tricky. You know, Jamie's not having the greatest rounds, and he's obviously going to hunt for the eagle. But if he doesn't get over here, he'd be in a really, really bad spot. But he's going to put his all into this with his anger he has queued up right now. And just needs to get through all this. Yeah, that's great.
Really nice shot.
And if he wants it, that's like the easiest birdie ever. We know this guy's going for it, right?
Yeah, and do you remember what kind of wind we had on day one?
I believe it was a left to right tail. It's almost like the perfect wind.
I think it was favorable all weekend, if I remember correctly.
Which is good. If this hole has a headwind, this hole is scary. Oh, Albert kind of threw a hyzer out there and just caught something, hit it straight. It's either a re-tee or short tee. I would assume he's going to go for the re-tee just so he can try to get over still.
And that's the danger with this hole is you could throw a great looking shot and catch one of those late trees that hang just over the water and find yourself in the drink.
Silas looks like he wanted a little flip out of that, but if it gets clean, that's pretty fortunate.
Yeah.
I will have to say, but nonetheless, a great shot.
So here is where things can get a little scary.
Mm-hmm.
Albert will be re-teeing,
Yeah.
and trying to throw the same shot that just went in the water.
We played a practice round with my brother. Kind of hate to throw him out of the bus here, but he did the same thing and didn't get in bounds and ended up taking a big number. And that one's going to stay safe and park it for a par, I believe, which is a wild par save on this hole. So everybody got over at some point, which is some good power from the card for sure. Jamie.
Ooh. Jamie probably still trying to just be aggressive, making up his...
don't like to see him run that one.
Yeah.
At that point. Honestly, the water's so close where it's just like you have a guaranteed stroke if you just lay it up.
I'm not too familiar with Jamie's game, but I would guess if he was 4 or 5 under par and he was in that spot, he's probably taking his easy birdie. Maybe just being a little aggressive, trying to make up strokes.
You know, I agree there. Obviously, if I was in his position, I might do the same thing and run it.
Mm-hmm.
But that is something after the round where I would look back on and be like, oh, I should have laid that one up.
Yeah.
So it's tough in the spur of the moment. But I kind of agree with his decision there.
We will have an easy par.
No, we just had a ditch that ran through. You had to clear on like 4 holes. Okay.
Silas moving the stick. That's something you're not going to see every day on disc golf coverage. Two eagles, 2 pars.
I don't know if that was aggressive to just...
Yeah, I don't know.
As long as Albert can make this one, which I'm sure he can. As we move into hole 15. I would say one of the tougher ones in the back 9. I don't know how far off the edge that one is. That one might not be retrievable, unfortunately.
Pretty sad sight there.
It's your time to hit a fairway once, just one time. Come on.
Oh my goodness.
As we move into hole 15, par 3, 420 feet, low ceiling off the tee pad. Players are going to want to throw a big sidearm, kind of turn it out to the left here and have it fade just behind the trees you can see behind the FPO basket. There's a little hillside here that kind of prevents you from throwing the backhand almost. Because it's low ceiling, you have to keep it low, and backhand can't get high with the hill there. So, very good design to put the basket back here, and I believe forehand is the main play.
Yeah, this is one of those unique holes where this sort of shot is kind of the only play.
Exactly. Dang it, I said it. Silas throwing DD1 here. That looks a little too turned over. Needs
And
some help.
that path is out of bounds that he's flirting with.
That comes
And
back
he
in.
gets it back in bounds.
No way. That is extremely fortunate.
Great break there.
That looks high.
And here's the backhand.
He pushed the ceiling about as much as you can
Yeah,
off the tee.
and there's just a few trees late that you got to fillet.
Jamie
and then-
just rolled in the water.
That's crazy.
Okay, that is... That's wild. Like... Whoa. Oh, too far?
Yeah,
That was kind of smoked. Jamie rolls in the water, unfortunately. We didn't even say there was water right there because we didn't think anybody would really come anywhere close to it.
I mean, if you're throwing the forehand, it really doesn't come into play.
I mean, you have to shank it so bad, and even then you're bound to hit something.
But Jamie going with that backhand, really pushing the right side of this fairway. And just unfortunately finds the water. Throws an up shot. We'll see what he's left with there.
Looked pretty good in my opinion. Albert, pretty far away. Looks like he's gonna give this one a bid though.
Okay. That's huge.
65, 70 footer. And that obviously deserves a run back.
That'll get you going.
Albert not having a bad round per se, but that definitely helps out the scorecard.
Silas almost pin high there by the path. Lays it up for his par.
Brad for his birdie. Outstretched. That just left.
Brad going a little long off the tee there, it looks like.
I would say very close to pin high, if not a little long. Jamie, good scramble.
Yeah, good putt there to minimize the damage. So Albert will pick up the only birdie on the card.
I would say that's a pretty common score for a card there. One birdie, one bogey. Maybe not the bogey.
Yeah.
Unless you get a three putt of some sort.
Moving on to hole 16, par 4, 640 feet. Straight gap here off the tee. Players are going to want to go around this Mando on the left side that the drone just flew by. Push pretty far and ideally get a little bit left out here past these trees to open up a very easy approach into this turtleback green. Players will go mostly with a overstable backhand shot. You might see a couple rollers. You might see a couple forehands.
What is happening?
Albert was telling me about this in round 2. It's a mosquito spray
Okay.
that the truck is going around the park and releasing, which Albert said he'd never seen that, and I haven't either.
That is definitely a new one for me as well. Albert, perfect shot. He has so much power.
Yeah, and that's ideal.
I mean, it's so far left and so far up there. I think Brad is gonna go with that roller. Actually, you, sir, told him about this play, right?
Yeah, so we actually saw Brad during practice, and I'd let him know that I'd put one really close with the roller here, and he was so happy that I gave him that tip. He actually gave us some food.
Some nice salami.
Yeah, some really
Peppered
good
salami.
Yep. So shout out to Brad for that.
And that's just hammered straight, flat. Needs to go left.
I believe he caught a tree there, and
Okay. Could be a tricky spot almost. It's a very
Jamie going for that roller.
a little higher than you see most rollers lay down. Honestly, I don't mind this going this far left as long as it
No,
doesn't
just
curl past the Mando. And it's close. But I don't think it did.
I think it stayed past
Yes. If you got a little more, if you didn't curl, they've been fine, but this is still a great looking shot right here. You take that from there. That's about 35, 40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a tricky spot. He's looking.
So Silas honestly found a pretty good spot there after that tree kick off the tee shot.
That's great.
Amazing. So these trees that are kind of blocking the basket right now are huge guardians. So really, if you find yourself behind them, it can be hard to get up on this elevated green.
It's just a crazy good spot here from Albert.
Albert throwing it so far off the tee, it doesn't matter.
That's probably the best shot I've seen from a non-roller. And there's the mosquito sprayer again. Interesting for sure. Brad through the roller. Pretty open shot. A little short, but luckily it stayed up there. Low. That's some awkward footing right there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you like try to push off a rock and it falls or something, but good balance and focus from Bradley Williams right there.
Albert, really just showing you how the hole should be played.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 birdies and a par.
Pretty common on that one. Oh,
Yeah.
little heel kick. As we move into hole 17, is a par 3, 320 feet, OB long, OB right with the fences. I would say the play is a straight mid backhand or a straight putter backhand. Just don't be behind one of these little magnolia trees and you'll be fine.
Yeah, easiest hole on the course, and I'm not surprised to see that statistic. The gap is not super tight off the tee. The hole's not very long.
It's also a forehand gap. Yeah, also a forehand shot. I failed to mention you can kind of flip it up and turn it. But it's that one tree right there. Kind of.
So, yep.
See, that's where it's scary. You gotta contend with this one tree, so your body just,
Yeah,
your mind instinctively turns it over.
the forehand can work, but it does seem to be a little bit more forced than, for example, this shot here.
And that's 2 turn. That's gonna be a rough spot. Lead card so far not making this look like the easiest hole on the course.
Like you said, you could be 20 feet away from the basket behind one of those trees and have no putt. So,
I like
really
this.
just want to do something like this.
And that is thrown to perfection. Jamie playing that hyzer stand up. That also looks perfect. Yep.
Really well done from Jamie.
Conrad's going solo today, so I'm gonna help him out. It's rolling, yeah. What's up, guys? See that? This is Instagram content. This is YouTube content. See what I'm saying? Look at Conrad all by himself. Or no. Yeah.
Never alone.
Never alone. He always has his camera with him. And his beloved card mates. Cause you're our card mate, really, when we're out here. You know? You're a part of the team as any of us.
Sure.
Except you can't make calls.
No,
It's actually super illegal for us to use your footage to make calls and stuff like that.
it is.
Yeah, all right, I'm gonna lock in again. Here you go.
Quick little POV there from Silas.
Some good content you only see on this channel. Bradley. Ooh, that looked good from our angle. Obviously, did not look good from his angle if it's not in the basket.
Yeah, it looked like he had a gap in between the trees. Just unable to convert. Same with Albert there.
But moving into hole 18, daunting hole 18, I should add. Scary, treacherous, all of the above. I like where all these guys are at, besides Jamie. But Jamie can pick up a bird here, get his confidence going for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Silas, 10 under, tied with Mr. Bradley Williams. Is that Jamie carrying a chair?
So Jamie ditched the bag and went for the chair. Not really sure about that game plan or what his tactic is, but here we are on hole 18, par 5, 745 feet. Requires 3 very specific shots. Players are going to want to throw a turning shot to the right off the tee to land somewhere here just short of this OB pond. Setting up for a straight shot to just about here. And if you've done that so far, you'll have a sidearm into this green. Pretty much want to throw 3 250-foot shots here. Very unique, very short, very well-designed hole.
I like it for hole 18 because if you have a one-stroke lead, a two-stroke lead, a three-stroke lead on the last hole, and you got to hit this gap and be in a precise spot, it's way scarier than having to throw a big open shot. So I'm very glad they put this as the last hole, and that is perfect right there.
Amazing shot.
I do like the overstable approach disc here. You can kind of put it on Andy, but then it gets to flat.
Yeah, I think if you're comfortable with throwing that shot, that's the play.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some forehands off this tee, some turnovers with understable disc. Really just hit this gap and set yourself up for a second.
I don't mind the understable putter, understable mid-range if you have that kind of touch. That's a decent shot there from Albert. Maybe a little long, but if we're getting nitpicky here, but Brad. It's just so close the entire way.
Yeah.
And now it's
Caught a late tree.
in a
He
rough
might
spot.
Yeah, he might be okay. Whereas Jamie here, par's still salvageable, but he's got to do a lot.
Now it's not, I don't think.
Yeah,
It's
maybe.
going to be very tough.
Decent recovery there.
Par is very salvageable. I can't speak.
Salvageable is the word I think you were
Okay, thank
reaching
you.
for there. Got you. Bradley puts himself back into position. Silas here after a really good tee shot. We'll be left with this. And
That's not perfect. I don't really know what is.
that's ideal.
Honestly, very scary shot over this water as well. Because if it goes in there, very high chance that you are not getting your frisbee back.
Oh, he kicks.
Safe.
So he stays safe, but he is not in a good spot. See what Jamie can do here.
Not enough turn. Great kick, though.
Honestly, might have something from there to give himself a look.
Chop 4 and anhyzer with a very overstable disc is going to be the main option from there, I believe. Brad laid up to a great spot. Throw an overstable disc.
Probably a good tree. Kept him from pushing a little too long. He'll have that forehand gap into the green from there.
Let's look at Albert's shot.
Yeah, finds himself in a very mischievous spot on the fairway.
You can see him shaking his head. He knows that it's not good. I think the play here would be jump putting back to it a little in front of Jamie's shot.
Yeah, when you see a player looking up like that towards the stars eye, not a good sign.
Now what do you do from here? If you already got aggressive, might as well keep getting aggressive, or do you think you pitch out? What do you say, Unc?
It really just depends on where he lands, and kind of looks like he doesn't have an option to lay up to the right side, so
He's going to keep going for this big shot here. Honestly, I kind of like the play. If you commit to going for the big shot the first time, you got to keep going for it. No going back.
agreed.
Jamie, I like the idea, not the execution.
Was that a bit early?
I think it was a bit inside, yep. Brad going back to the overstable approach disc. That's pure as it gets.
Yeah, really well done there from Brad to recover and give himself a look for par.
So let's going back to that drop. Chance for birdie now is just going to be a disappointing par. You throw 2 good shots in this hole. You completed the 2 hardest shots. Maybe he just thought of that and just like relaxed his mind and put full intent into that shot. That's something I find myself doing a couple times throughout this course. It's a very mentally tasking course. That's a great shot there from Albert. Unfortunate roll, honestly.
I can't think of a hole that I've played recently this short that's this hard.
Yeah, it's fair too.
It's almost Waco the Beast-esque.
It's very unheard of nowadays, is this kind of hole.
Yeah.
Short par 5s that still average like a par 5. Not something you see every day.
Albert.
Kind of fetches around with a rough number. 8 under is a good score to be at. But he's going to unfortunately finish off with a double bogey and move to 6 under par. Jamie finishes his round off with a bogey to put him at +4. Obviously not the round he was looking for.
Yep, Jamie, a great player. I'm sure he'll really come back strong round 2 after having a round like that.
Brad taps in to be 10 under, co-leader with this guy right here, Silas Schultz. See Jamie giving them some applause. As we move in, we will look at our leaderboards here in a second and see who we will be watching tomorrow.
Yeah, so Bradley and Silas at 10. That's hot. Jamie 4 over. Albert Tamm 6 under.
Tomorrow we'll be watching Bradley Williams and Silas Schultz at 10 under. Myself, I shot an 8 under. Nathan Queen wins the PDGA number battle at 6 under. So we will see him as well tomorrow. Thank you guys for watching. I am Ryan Mond. You can follow me on Instagram at RyanMondDG.14.
And you can give me a follow on Instagram at Edwardinho_disc_golf. That will also be in the description.
We'll see you guys for coverage tomorrow. Let's run it.